live?
It should be.
It is time.
Let's see.
Do we gotta kick it off?
I did. I started the broadcast.
There it is.
Yeah?
Oh yeah.
Is it working?
Oh.
Oh.
I can't have both of them open. It is sketching me.
Yeah, if you do have it open, let's make sure that you've got it muted.
All right. So I think that's enough time waiting for everybody to join. So good evening. Welcome to Around the Fire, an overland and off-road podcast brought to you by Northeast Adventure Company, New England's premier overland guide service. Join us tonight as we explore our past adventures, a little bit about plans for the future, and some of our experiences overlanding. We're joined with our hosts, Chris, Ben, Mason, Daryl, AJ, and myself, Darren. If you're joining us and you're not a part of all our other social media, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Discord, and YouTube at Northeast Adventure Company. And if you're joining us after the live broadcast, be sure to follow all of those links down in the description.
Definitely.
Once again, welcome, and thank you for joining us, whether it's live or after hours. Today on Around the Fire, we're going to share our excitement for the 2022 trips and field some questions about the upcoming season. I'm your host, and we'll kick it off with a little talk about all the events that we're excited about. So, the new season, 2022, is rolling in just a month. We have a lot of big trips planned, some longer ones. There's a few longer ones. We've got a couple of really big rally-style events. But before we get too deep into that, I just want to make sure that everyone is prepared that maybe hasn't joined us on a trip before. So if Ben, if you want to just break it down on how they can be ready come January 1st for the tickets to go on sale.
Sure. Let's just make sure that everything is working, getting some feedback that there's no sound, but I think that might just be a Todd issue and not an everybody else issue. But we love you, Todd. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you can get it figured out.
Try joining on the
Cool.
YouTube if you can't
Yeah.
get on Discord.
Okay, so yeah, as Darren said, this is the Around the Fire podcast for NAC. We're pretty stoked to be doing this. It's going to be fun being able to meet with you guys and kind of talk and share some of the stuff that's going on with us behind the scenes. Just because we don't all get to post and interact as much as we used to or normally do with everything that we've got going on. And we've got some exciting stuff coming for next year. If you're new to NAC and you're wanting to participate, but you're not really sure how that goes down, on January 1st at noon, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, EST, our tickets go live at northeastadventurecompany.com. And on our website, you can create an account and get your payment information set up and registered beforehand to expedite things, because the tickets do go pretty quickly. And sometimes people think that we are hyping that, and we are a little bit, but they actually do go that fast. Some of the trips that we do to Canada, for instance, sell out in a matter of seconds, and it's not unheard of to have our entire roster sell out in a matter of hours. So we want to make sure that people who are new understand what goes into that process, because it can be a little bit overwhelming at first. We've heard stories of people having multiple laptops open with trips added to carts, trying to make sure that they get the ones that they want. So people take it seriously, and we just think that that's so humbling and awesome that that these trips are something that people look forward to that much, because we certainly look forward to doing them with all of you guys. So any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to any of us with questions about how to get involved with NAC. You can join on Facebook, follow along on Instagram, all of that, and here in the Discord you can interact with us as well. Chris, you got anything else that you wanted to cover for January 1st ticket sales?
Nope, I don't think so. Just to reiterate, it is kind of a mad dash.
Yeah.
So, like you said, we have had people, husband and wife team, kind of sitting around multiple laptops or phones and what have you, just trying to get in. And so we are very humbled by that. It is pretty cool to be able to sit and kind of watch and see it just progress all the way through. So we appreciate all of the support, and we can't wait to see what next year's gonna bring for us. It's gonna be awesome.
Just one note real quick.
I'm getting a message that I'm echoing.
Yeah, so I was just gonna say, let's all just make sure. Just make sure your mic is muted when you're not talking until we get this sorted. Thanks for bearing with our technical difficulties.
First time for everything. As far as ticket sales go, it does help to make an account on the website. It speeds the process up a little bit. You don't have to fill in all of your shipping information and whatnot when you're trying to fire out tickets. Just a little pro tip for you guys. We promise not to spam you. We won't do that.
So real quick, just checking the chat. Some people are saying it's low and echoey. And if you guys can just drop as it gets echoey the names so that we can make sure. I think part of that might be having if we have the video open as well at the same time. Bear with us, like we said. First ever podcast, so let's see. It might just be. We'll see. All right, we'll just keep going through with it. So, like we said, some bigger trips going on. We have 3 Canada trips, I believe, and some bigger rally style trips. The summit, like we did this past year, only it's going to be bigger and better. And then we have a new van rally that's coming out. That will be in New Hampshire. Personally, I'm looking forward to the Canada trips. I wasn't able to get on any last year, and luckily I've taken the time off, hopefully in time, so I should be able to at least make it on 2 of those, if not 3. So I'm pretty pumped about that. I'm pretty excited about the new year. Lots of nice new adventures coming, so
Yeah, sorry about that. I was grabbing my headphones to help with the echoiness. Okay. Hey, Chris. Sorry to interrupt. I think we're having some audio streaming issues. I think people are hearing me, but not you guys, and I'm not exactly sure why. So just bear with me a second, and I will. No, I think it's maybe. Oh, I think people in Discord can hear just fine, but it's the people on YouTube that are not hearing it. No, it's because I can't figure. For some reason, it's streaming the video from Discord, but it's not streaming the audio. So just bear with me, and I will get it figured out. Window. So, Darren, any ideas why the audio wouldn't be going through? Yeah, so it's on YouTube, though, or on Discord? Oh, I wonder if it's when I plugged in my... You know what it is? Yeah, it's because I plugged in my headphones and I changed my output. So let me try undoing that. Let's see...
Now the Ben's undone.
Okay.
Phones. Are we good to go there?
Yeah, so those on... Sorry about that. Those on YouTube, are you guys getting audio from other people besides me? I'll be quiet for a second here.
Let's just go around and check. So check. Chris.
Check.
Everyone's got me loud and clear.
Getting messages from people. So we're trying to figure out if the audio is better now on
Thanks for bearing
YouTube.
with us, everybody.
Yeah.
We will get this down for future episodes. So in YouTube, not hearing me, but then switching to Discord. Charlie's typing. Hold on.
Better now, but there's still an echo.
Audio is loud and clear in Discord.
Yeah, so really, this is just a whole, charade here, because we don't want you perfect right off the bat every time.
Yeah. We don't want to set those expectations too high.
Yeah. So I think for now, the solution, everybody, on our end is to physically click the mute button on Discord when you're not talking, so that everybody, including Darren, I know it's going to be annoying, but that should eliminate the echo.
Gotcha.
So for future, the other thing we can do too is we can switch it to push to talk, and then you have to push a button to talk. That'll mute you when everyone else is talking.
Good point. I think it might just be an issue with the recording.
Yeah.
Because they're saying it's not pointing fingers, but because Ben is the issue for echo.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not exactly sure.
I think it's just weird. It's not everything is cooperating together, I don't think.
Yeah, we'll get it figured out. It's picking up the audio from my... I just need to figure out how to route the audio correctly through the streaming software so that I can use the headphones and not have everybody else's audio played out here and picked up by my mic. So,
Gotcha.
Anyways.
So where were we? Future trips. Who's pumped about what? Who did we leave off on? Van Rally.
Van Rally is going to be a fun one. So it's a limited trip, a little bit different than we normally do. It's kind of limited to only van and van-styled rigs. So we want to get a lot of people together with vans at the Van Rally and do some awesome trails and hang out and kind of really talk van and focus more on that than just general rigs like we normally do. we usually try not to focus on any one type of vehicle, so this will be a little different for us, and we're gonna see how it goes, and it should be a lot of fun. I see a lot of cool rigs, people from all over the place. Van people tend to come from afar, so that'll be really cool to get them all in one place and hear the war stories and where people have been and what's going on for the season.
So Charlie's saying Van Down by the River Rally. It's almost as cool of a name, but it's going to be in Nottingham, New Hampshire. So naturally, the only name we could go with was Notting Van Rally. Obviously, you got to have those good dad jokes in there.
We got to sign up Charlie for trip names next year.
Yeah, that was a good one.
So with the Van Rally, that makes 2 big trips. The second one being like we did last year up at Daryl's, or this last season up at Daryl's family's land. We have the summit. That's gonna be pretty big. That's gonna be nice. Hopefully we can expand that more than we did this year. If you just want to go into that, Daryl, a little bit.
Yeah, so if you guys missed out on it this year, we had Gourmet Girl food truck there who had some awesome food. Unfortunately, I did hear that she may be selling, so I don't think we're going to get her back for next year's event, but we are definitely working on some cool food ideas for next year, so stay tuned for that. Also, this year we had Pine Grove Premium Outfitters there who brought down his trailer. Jimmy's a super awesome guy. He had a bunch of gear and stuff set up that you could buy right at the event. And I mean, you got to handle it all. It wasn't ordering offline. You actually got to see it in person. Next year, we are going to be expanding to 100 rigs. So it's going to be an awesome event. Throughout the days, we do trainings and we do seminars. We show you guys what gear we're using, how we use it, how you would use it. We give you little trainings on it. It's just an awesome expo style event. And along with that event, we also have in the area, we have breweries, we have wineries, we have awesome little restaurants. So while you're there, you can go out and explore. It's just an all-around awesome event. It's a good time for everyone. You basically pick your adventure. If you want to hang out with us for the day and you want to hang out for some seminars and some trainings, then you can do that. Or if you want to go off and pick a 3 or 4 hour route, hit a brewery, hit a restaurant, you can do that too. It's really whatever you want to do. It's stock friendly, or you can bring whatever rig you have that's fully built up. Everyone's there, everyone has a good time. I loved it this year. It was a little rainy, but we still made the best of it. We had a fire the entire time, so you can stay warm there. You can stay under the tent, stay dry. It was a fun time, and next year is going to be better.
And that whole Moosehead Lake area is just riddled with awesome stuff to do. Not even just trails, all sorts of places to go visit, destinations, small businesses, like you said, breweries. Just a great area all around.
I think one thing that was kind of missed this year too, and likely because of the weather, but there's a ton of hiking in that area too. So anybody that wants to get into that or sees that they want to come in and maybe do even one of the days, just like a hiking trip or something, we're more than happy to try to intertwine that in there. But yeah, there's tons of places to do that. So that it's just an all around awesome event. And again, with 125 rigs this year, it's going to be sick.
Yeah, like Daryl said, it's super inclusive. I mean, we had some fairly stock rigs, and we had some fairly built up rigs there last year, and it's a great place to meet people, network, make connections, check out new gear, new setups. I definitely got a few ideas on how to maybe better use my Forerunner, seeing how other people have used theirs, and kind of clean up my mess that I end up with at the end of trips. But if you're looking for trips and you come January 1st and you're not able to get all of those trips that you wanted, join us on Facebook, join us on the Northeast Adventure Community Group. There are, I don't want to say often, but a decent amount every now and then come up of tickets come up for sale because people buy more, and then when it gets closer to the trip they can't make it. So if you don't make the trip, if you don't get a ticket for the trip that you want, don't be too butthurt, and just keep an eye out for someone selling it. With that, we also have some meet and greets in the works. So January 29th, we'll have more info coming out on that, but January 29th, we're going to be looking to do a meet and greet out in Vermont. So hopefully get it closer to that side of Vermont where we tend to not venture out too far. This way, people aren't having to drive as far as they usually are for some of our meet and greets.
Yeah, that northeast side of Vermont, kind of spread it out a little bit. We tend to neglect them a little bit when it comes to meet and greet time. So we'll hook you guys up this year. We'll do something up that way. We'll do some stuff all over all winter. Keep you guys busy.
And if anybody has any suggestions too, don't hesitate to reach out. I mean, I think our biggest thing that we've always run into is space. And when the winter time comes, we have to make sure that, you know, the parking lots are plowed and we have sufficient amount of parking, because it does attract a lot of people, a lot of rigs. So, you know, it's awesome to be able to support those smaller kind of breweries, but at the same time, we got to make sure that they have a sufficient amount of space. But we're more than happy to.
If you guys got ideas, certainly reach out. There's only 6 of us, but there's, you know, a couple hundred of you guys. So
Yeah,
certainly give us your ideas on wherever you guys want to do them. You know, we'll try and work it out.
We'd love to know.
You say a couple hundred, but I think we just reached 5 something K on Facebook.
I think we just crossed 5K on Facebook. Yeah.
At this point, we're at 5K on Facebook, 2,500 on Instagram, and what do we got on YouTube? We're getting there. We're getting up there. I know that.
I thought it was like 3,300 or something. 3,379. Rings a bell. 39.
3,339. It looks like, or 390, something like that.
It's awesome.
So.
Have we hit 100 on Discord yet?
Yeah.
Last time I looked.
Whatever. 63 plus 28.
More than 63.
More than math. I can't do math off hours. I do math all day. So don't make me do it here.
Darren, I think I was getting my headphones when we were talking about trips we were looking forward to for next year. So.
Yeah, I guess you can go.
Yeah, oh, thanks. Yeah, thanks. Appreciate it. Well, I only wanted to bring that up because I wanted to talk about the Old Iron Rally and the Cape Spencer trips. Those are kind of 2 of the events that I'm looking forward to the most. The Old Iron Rally should be a lot of fun. Hopefully, we'll have one of our older trucks running by then. So fingers crossed there, but nothing's guaranteed with my luck on that front. But that should be awesome. We're having open to more rigs this time, where I think it's up to 30 rigs, and it's 20 years or older. So last year was 25, but there was a lot of cool rigs that we realized were close to the cutoff that we would have loved to have there. So we decided to do it at 20 years just to make it a little bit more accessible for people. And we will be hosting a meet and greet at the end of that trip, wherever it ends up, that everybody else can come and hang out and check out the cool old rigs. So that should be a lot of fun. Looking forward to that a lot. So yeah, and then the other one is Cape Spencer Crusade. That's one of our standard trips. It kind of checks all the boxes for a classic overlanding trip. There's water crossings, technical trails, and just absolutely stunning campsites. So really enjoy doing that trip, and looking forward to running that again next year.
Yeah, and that's one of them that I'm hoping I can jump on to next year. At least some of the Canada trips. I was pretty left out on that I wasn't able to get the time off in time, and it looked awesome. Some of those spots that you guys stopped at and camped last year looked insane. But hopefully I can get some of the work done over this winter to the 4Runner. I'm going to be heading down this weekend, go over to AJ's. I'm going to crank out the welder and tack some skids and stuff onto the 4Runner.
You're doing what?
Now, I'm going to go use AJ's garage and just angry hot glue gun the heck out of the underside of the 4Runner. So we'll see how it goes. But
Gotta learn somewhere.
yeah, just might as well do it on the daily driver. If it holds, it holds. If it doesn't, then, I guess it's not my problem. But, Yeah, I'm gonna be sliding on some new lower link skids and a new panhard bar reconnection or relocation kit, so I can take full advantage of that long travel suspension that I put in. But that's one of a few upgrades, hopefully, that I can get to this winter. But I know a few of you guys, Mason, you have a pretty good upgrade coming. Ben, you have a few trucks that you're working on, so
Yeah, I don't think any of us don't have something to work on this winter. I got the transfer case doubler. Ben's got 3 trucks and a zillion parts for other trucks to put into those 3 trucks. And Chris, I mean, you got the big rig and God knows what else in your driveway right now. Daryl, I think you finally got a drive shaft. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet having 4-wheel drive again. I mean, I did it 92% of Canada in 2-wheel drive, which was pretty hot. But
Your
that was a
was
good
not
time.
happy about that.
That was fun.
No, not at all.
Mason, what is that? What does your project look like?
Yeah, so I got a transfer case doubler with a bunch of Marlin crawler adapters. So we're gonna slam a late '80s transfer case in between the stock transfer case and transmission on the FJ, and we'll shorten up and lengthen the drive shafts to fit. We'll smash in the gas tank to make it work, and then we'll go super duper slow.
Yeah, so
Super duper slow, I hear, is really good.
walk us through what a doubler does for those who aren't aware in a little bit more detail, if you wouldn't mind.
In an FJ or any vehicle that has a transfer case, there's a shifter, sometimes it's a button, but usually a shifter that sticks up out of the floor. What I'm essentially going to do is add another one of those with the second transfer case. So I'll have a transmission, transfer case, and then another transfer case. The middle transfer case, the one that I'm adding, will give me a compound low gear. So I can put it in low with the OE transfer case, and then I can compound that low again with the middle transfer case, the doubler. And what that does is it drastically reduces your or increases your crawl ratio. So I'll be able to get out of the truck with the truck in drive and probably walk faster than the truck will up an average obstacle. But what you do when you reduce your gear ratio is your torque just goes through the roof. So I'm going to have crazy torque, but I'll be able to control it a lot better. I won't have to just mash it to be able to get that kind of power out of the truck. I'll be able to let it slowly do what it's going to do, which tends to be a lot gentler on the truck. A little vehicle sympathy goes a long way. So hopefully that's the case, and we'll see how it goes, and we'll see how many CVs I blow out. We'll join AJ's club there and blow out CVs and 2 in a trip, 3 in a trip.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're starting to sound like AJ now.
Which just means that you'll have to solid axle swap it before you know it.
Oh yeah.
Or some front long
one
arms.
project directly into the next.
Or some front long arms with some RCVs or something. That could be fun.
I think Anna's listening in, and she might kill me if I spend any more money on the truck, because we're trying to, we gotta start saving for some other stuff going on here.
That's fair.
Hey, I feel like you're doing all right. You got a couple of years now.
Yeah, Mason.
So whenever you guys want to start paying for my truck mods, you let me know.
I got enough of my own things going on.
So let's jump to. We're getting a decent amount of questions coming in, so we'll knock a few of those out real quick, and we can get back to some truck talk. So let's see, where are we at? Oh, this is a good one for Machete Pete. Too bad he can't answer it. But why is the XJ the best off-road vehicle in the universe? It's okay if you say it's not.
All right, so
Who out of us
I don't
has
know if
owned an
I'd
XJ?
go as far as to say it's the best off-road vehicle in the universe. Sorry, Machete Pete, but in reality, I mean, the XJ is an awesome vehicle if you're first getting into overlanding, or off-roading for that matter. They're relatively cheap. I mean, parts for them are everywhere, and they're a very capable vehicle. They really are. I mean, you can put a small lift on it, some 33s, and that thing will do a lot of New England trails. They're awesome starter rigs, very good to get you into the sport and really get that addiction going, and then you spend some real money. But at least the XJ is part of the Jeep family. You're not in a Toyota.
Well, see, that's where you start in an XJ, but then you upgrade to the big boy toys and you get a Toyota.
Yeah,
I mean, if you're looking for reliability, I don't know if a Jeep is the correct option, but if you're looking for capability, the Jeep is, is your
Still
good
not the
option.
correct option. I say that as I'm talking to the only guy on 37s that's rig is actually overbuilt for what we do.
I mean, you say that, but I break it a lot.
That's also
Like-
just
like
you
a
break
lot, a
everything.
lot.
I was gonna say is it a Jeep problem or is that a Daryl thing? So,
Daryl's even good at breaking other people's stuff.
yeah,
Oh, I
he
can
knows how to
definitely break
grenade. He can grenade a diff like no one's
Just
business.
2-foot it. Just 2-foot it. No big deal.
That'll come right out of there, I swear. Okay.
So, Matt, Matt had a really good question on ground tents. So, we don't tend to use a lot of ground tents. Most of us have rooftop tents. AJ lately has been in a ground tent, but even he has a rooftop tent that used to go on Big Blue or Old Blue or Blue Chevy. So,
It's on the 5th gen now.
oh, it's on the 5th gen now. Okay, so now it's on a real rig. But there are some really good ground tent options out there. The break the bank and doesn't take up a lot of space. You have that pyramid that sometimes you have to pick two. You can't fall right in the middle, but there are some good options for a good, I don't want to say settle on type tent, but a good one that will get you outside and get you covered. I like the Gazelle tents, but those once again are pricey and they don't close down too small. I know that Daryl and Mason, you guys have some experience with, I can't think of what the company is, but some really good ground tents that you guys use.
Yeah, so I mean, as a Boy Scout, past, former, and current, I've really liked the Eureka tents, Eureka brand. They tend to just hold up really well. They're generally priced in the right range, and I even have their outlet store link, so I can drop that in the chat later for you guys. But they hold up really well. We give them to the scouts, and we'll get 3 to 4 seasons out of them, maybe even more. And if any of you guys know anything about teenage boys, they are not gentle to anything that they are given. So with that, I personally bought a couple, and I've been using it for, I don't know, 3 years now. It even makes an appearance on a couple neck trips twice a year, maybe, when I'm not towing the trailer. And I know Daryl's got one. You got a big one too, I think, right? What do you got?
Yeah, so my newest one, I've had a couple of Eureka tents. I mean, I think they're awesome. They're a great price point. The newest one is a 10 by 10 with 7 feet of standing space. I mean, we fit a queen size blow up and a king size blow up and still have room for the gear at the foot of that tent. That tent is awesome. It also packs down pretty small. It's like 2 feet long by 10 by 10 square. So it packs down pretty decent, and like I said, the Eurekas are an awesome price point. I've also used their 2-person tent, which packs down absolutely tiny. I mean, it's not quite a backpacking tent, but it's pretty close, and you just can't beat them for the quality and the price point on them. The Eurekas are, if I were going to buy another tent, I would definitely go Eureka.
So, do we dub that the Taj Madero or the Daryl Mahal? I can't remember.
Taj Madero. It's the Taj.
Taj Madero. Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
I mean, it is the place to be usually.
It's the Tombstone Palace, the reverse Tombstone Palace.
And Darren, just because we've got almost 20 people on YouTube watching right now, can you just give them a quick rundown, if they're not on Discord, how to join the NAC Discord? Just like the 30-second version.
Yes. So, if you are on our Facebook, or we can drop it into the chat and invite to the Discord. So what you're gonna want to do is follow that link wherever you find it, and you will set up an account with us, and you will join. You're gonna set up your account on Discord, and it will, if you follow that link, it will automatically add you to the NAC community Discord server. From there, you can find the rules and the regulations of the server. They pretty much follow the same as Facebook. We drop resources there, announcements. We have a general chat for the community to talk. It's a little more personal chatting than a Facebook post. You can share memes there. We have tech talk, so if you have technical questions, then you can drop those questions there. And we also now have the Around the Fire voice chat that you will be able to join. But like I said, follow one of those links wherever you find it, either Facebook or YouTube or Instagram. We do have it. I think it might still be up on our story, and it's pretty easy to follow the steps. Once you hit that link, it should just automatically add you to the server once you set up an account.
Nice. Thanks.
I do recommend, until we hopefully figure out this audio issue, it might be a better place if you're trying to tune in to listen live, but hopefully this is solved prior to the next episode, which I think we've already got it figured out. I think now we just need to go through the steps of doing it. But
Yeah, we'll get it dialed in before that.
So one more good question. I say one more. You guys all have good questions, but another good question. Todd, Land Bruiser, he wants to know, would NAC ever consider doing custom private trips? He said a lot more than that, but that's the gist of what he wants to know. I'm going to drop that one to Chris.
Hello. So yeah, it's definitely a thing that we have looked into in the past, and it's something that I think we would love to be able to provide for people. I think the biggest thing that we have to think about is the time that everybody would need to be able to kind of make that work. So when we look at the totality of our schedule this year, we're looking at 12, 13 trips and the possibility of more to come. We also add in some meet and greets and some stuff that, again, we all have regular jobs. So it does take a lot of time, a lot of money, and time away from family too, which we have to consider. So we would be more than happy to put something together for people if they are looking to do, kind of a private tour or something of that nature. It's definitely in the realm of what we do. But I think the expectation would have to be that, we would likely be charging a little bit more for that just because of that, because we are taking more time away to be able to do it. And I think, people are perfectly fine with that. Usually it's not a big issue, but it's more specific also to where you, as the individual who's going to be going on those types of private trips, would have the availability to kind of ask us and tell us what exactly you'd like, and we'd love to be able to provide that for you. So with a little bit more of a kind of custom trip, then yes, it is going to come a little bit more custom price tag, but we definitely could probably work on that as long as we have the availability of the stuff and the availability of the time to be able to do it.
So if you do want a private trip, or you do have some thoughts on that, or want to see kind of what it would entail, shoot us an email at info@northeastadventurecompany.com, and we can get more details worked out for you, and we can maybe dive a little bit more into that. I like the idea of a private trip. Obviously, like you said, it's going to take more work. I don't want to say more work than a normal trip, but it's a totally different beast compared to our larger trips. But with that, you get more personal time, more time on trail if you want it, more time at camp if you want it. But shoot us an email at info@northeastadventurecompany.com if you would like more on that.
Definitely. And just to reference Daryl, his chat that he just put up, the Overland elopements, we do currently have a couple of staff members that are ordained ministers, which we'd be more than happy to look into something like that for you if that's if that's kind of in the wheelhouse. We're more than happy to. It's Ben is he actually, for those who don't know, Ben ended up being the officiant, if you will, for my wedding, so that was pretty cool. And I am, and that somehow happened around some campfire at some time.
I believe Mason is as well.
Yeah, has also jumped on board. So we officially have quite a few people that can make that work for you.
You hear that, Anna?
Actually, a
Ben and
Jedi.
Chris, Ben and Chris got us.
I think we're working on Matt and Dorothy, but I think Matt's more about it than Dorothy is probably. So we'll see.
Dorothy, work a little bit with us.
Dorothy, picture this: Gladiators, Jeeps, Toyotas, just all lined up behind you.
Man, White Claws,
Pretty
gonna be
perfect.
amazing.
CV axles and drive shafts lining the aisle. AJ, how did you get into overlanding?
Boom.
Yeah, I went on a trip, and it was fun, so I continued doing it, and here we are.
That was
No, I've been
beautiful.
camping most of my life, ever since I was a kid, and I like trucks and off-roading, so just kind of put the two together, and here we are. What about you, Daryl?
So, real cool story here. I was watching a couple YouTube videos and I was like, oh, it looks pretty cool. I've been into off-roading basically my whole life. Grew up doing it. And I was like, I might want to try that overlanding thing. So I literally Google searched, what is a good overlanding vehicle? And I basically just read through lists of what good overland vehicles are until I was like, yeah, I don't care. I still want a Jeep. So I picked the Jeep, and then, I went on a trip with Chris, and I was like, yeah, these are my people. These are definitely my people. And I just kind of stuck around. They couldn't get rid of me. I just basically started
Still
showing up
trying.
wherever they were.
Still trying.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that
mean,
sounds about.
it is funny when you look at AJ and Daryl, especially coming in. They just did a whole bunch of trips with us, eventually to the point where we just, they got tired of signing up for trips and wanted to come on all of them, so they signed up to be staff. So that worked out pretty well. But I think there's some other people who have been on a ton of trips. The Jeff and Kurt's come to mind. So many other people that have supported us along the way. But definitely excited to have Daryl and AJ on board. So it's cool hearing about their history.
Yeah, I want to say that's how. I mean, other than going on trips, I never actually went on a trip with you guys before I started being a staff member. But that's pretty much how I jumped
Pay
on board
next year,
too.
then, Aaron.
What was that?
You get to pay next year then.
Suddenly my schedule is packed. Oh no.
Oh, look at that! I just got called in.
Yep. See you later, guys.
I'm gonna be sick all those weekends.
I can already feel it coming on. Something's wrong with my eyes. I just don't see it happening. But so yeah, I got the 4Runner. Actually, I didn't even get the 4Runner. I was driving this tiny little orange car that sucked my manhood out every time I drove it. That sounds.
Aren't you looking
so
for another
bad.
small vehicle that's
It took my soul. I'm continuing.
Just
on.
move on.
But I found
You were past 8 o'clock because you just went PG-13.
I found the 4Runner, and I sent it to Ben. I don't even know how I honestly don't even remember how I came in contact with you guys.
You
first,
started
but,
stalking us through Instagram and messaging us, and
yeah, I was like, hey, I'm a photographer. I'll come on rides with you and do free work if you let me go on rides.
you're basically offering
left me on
a
red.
camera in exchange for shotgun seat. So it worked
Bingo.
out.
Basically a photography hooker. Is that what we're?
Something like that.
Okay.
It really is
Photography
after
code.
8, I guess, isn't it?
But yeah, so I bought the 4Runner and messaged Ben, hey, what's a good lift? And he goes, hey, I'm actually taking my lift out of my 4Runner. If you want it, you can come install it in my driveway. And from that point on, I don't even know what happened next, but we were wheeling, and now I put way more money than I ever thought I would into the 4Runner, and I've taken it way more places and seen way cooler stuff and learned way more than I ever thought I would learn about off-road driving and overlanding and camping. And because I used to be the send it through the mud Jeep guy that broke his Jeep and just left it broken, and now I break the 4Runner and kind of know how to fix it. Doesn't mean I fix it, but I know how. But I think that's all we got. Do we have any questions over on YouTube, Ben? I don't have it pulled up.
No, not really. It's been pretty quiet on the question front there.
Negative.
Anything new on the
Yeah,
Q&A?
man.
So there was a question about me and CV axles. The answer is you have to break both of them simultaneously, because I did that on the Blue Truck many years ago. If you can do that, you win. But I don't know what you win, but you win.
You
You
win.
win new
Bad
CV
time.
axles.
So AJ, what are the other projects that you have going on right now? I know you had one that you were pretty hot on for a while, and then suddenly it just dropped to the bottom of the priority list. It seems like. So, what do you got? What do you got going on over there?
I've got the black truck. It's an old Chevy pickup that I'm putting together with solid axles and 37s. It's sitting in the driveway still. Gotta put the transfer case in and measure for drive shafts and stuff like that. It's just kind of got put on the back burner for everything else, and that's how it goes.
Well, I mean, you built a
Gonna
whole
come
other
back.
vehicle and basically built hobs for me in the meantime. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I do owe you a weekend
you guys
of wrenching, so I know Pete wanted to come down too. Machete Pete is, I'm sure he's still down for that. So we'll get that scheduled and come down and help work on the black truck.
Perfect.
Well, you got the 3rd gen, and you pretty much built that in like a weekend for Turkey Trek.
Yeah, and then broke it that weekend too, so that was good.
But you got what did you set up on that? You put full new skids and sliders on
He
it.
listened to me. Not a good idea.
Yeah, more
Yeah, don't do
throttle.
that.
yeah.
Don't do that.
Full skids from Coastal Off Road. I built the sliders and welded them on. The ARB front bumper, OME lift, and 33s. So now I'm doing replacing the axle disconnect housing and then new CV axles. That's all going back together, and then the whole mess is going to Adam up at Built East to do the JBA upper control arms and some taller springs in the front and the alignment. So,
Nice.
Nice. Then you can start. Well, that's it. Over with Adam, you can start working on the black truck again. So we all need. I need to get a project. I need to find something to mess
Yeah,
with.
what's up with this little thing you're looking for these days?
I know. I'm looking for if anyone has a good lead on a cheap but not rotted out tracker, geo tracker, Chevy tracker, tracker, whatever. That's what I'm on the prowl for right now. It's gonna. I want it to be my new.
on the tracker.
No, but I'm small enough, so I can sleep inside of one of those things. I bet you. So I can almost stand up inside my rooftop tent. I could probably sleep in the back of a geo tracker, but I don't know if any of you
Let's be
guys.
honest, I think you can sleep in a play school car.
It's big wheels, but yeah, probably.
Little Tykes, thank you very much.
Little Tykes, yeah.
Yeah, I've
the
got one of
red
those
and
little
yellow ones.
red and yellow cozy coupe cars out in the
coupe, that's what
driveway.
it
You know,
is.
you could take one of that. Take Cal's little rig out if you want.
But can I fit 35s on it? No lift.
Without rubbing.
I mean, your legs would be really far away from the ground, but you could try.
With enough sawzall, you can fit 35s on anything with no lift.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Enough ain't care.
Yeah.
But well, unless we have any more questions.
Darren, you're getting a question from the Discord. You don't want a red Jeep Wrangler as your next project? Do you have some history with red Jeep Wranglers?
Who's that coming from? Where
It's
is
coming
that?
from Red Jeep. Why?
Red Jeep. Why?
Matt.
Oh, that's 4-door negative. 2-door. I would love another 2-door red Jeep, but
I mean, I think I've seen that Jeep. It's pretty well set up. I think you could just literally buy it and take it out on trips, and it'd still be way more capable than the 4Runner.
Weren't you just saying with enough sawzall, anything's possible? Just drop the sawzall and take 2 doors out.
you take two. Well, see, it's a Jeep, so I wouldn't even need.
Oh. Here's a good question. Machete Pete wants us to discuss the Wrangler 4XE, but that could segue and give AJ a chance to discuss electric vehicles for overlanding. I know he's got some talking points there.
I say we give it a little teaser.
Ooh,
And
fold that into
you guys will
next
see-
episode.
You guys will see in episode 2 where we go with that.
I like it.
So
Yeah, let me collect my
Little
PowerPoints and
sprinkle.
bullet points on that one, and we'll get back to it.
But until
Sounds
we start
good.
seeing some charging stations growing off of pine trees, I think I will stick with my 14 miles per gallon. So
I'm going to beat everybody else to the punch, but the sun. And we can leave it at that and discuss on the next episode.
So, if you want to hear more about electric vehicles, then you're going to have to tune in for the next one. Other than that, that's all we got for questions. Anyone else? You got any cool stuff going on? Ben, I know you were tinkering around with some mini trucks.
Oh, yeah.
You got that still sitting on your desk?
Yeah, I've got some mini trucks on the desk and some mini trucks outside, but they're slightly different in size. But working on, Cal likes driving these little, I say Cal likes driving the little RC trucks, but, it's as much for me as it is for him. But I've been working on a custom-built Land Cruiser 70 Series, designed the body and bed and 3D printed it. But yeah, it's pretty fun. It's been a fun little project as we're kind of homebound right now to kind of tinker with. So the realism of these things is what really drew me to them in the first place. They've got, 4-link suspensions, and the shocks have oil in them, and the capability in such a small little package has been pretty fun, and they work as great learning tools, actually, because you can they're so realistic that you can actually use them to demo vehicle behavior, cross-axling, and all sorts of different things that help people understand basic vehicle movement off-road. So pretty cool. But the big mini trucks, I've just dropped an engine off for Rupert at the machine shop. It is a 22 RTE that I got on Facebook Marketplace, and the machine shop is going to strip the whole thing down, resurface the block in the head, and do all of that, redo all the internals, and then I will work with AJ's help sometime this spring, once the rebuild is done, to get it into the truck, since he actually has experience doing that and I don't. So and I think just having the his knowledge and expertise there will make things go a little bit smoother. But definitely looking forward to getting Rupert on the road once and for all. So I'm planning on working on the interior camper build out over the winter in preparation for the engine swap in the spring. So got a lot going on. The silver truck is pretty well kept. It just needs a front axle rebuild. I've got the parts for it. I just haven't made the time. Of course, I've been saying that for months now, but I'll get to it eventually. But other than that, the white 4Runner has been pretty well dialed. I just need to get it fluid filmed before the real snow and salt come. But other than that, it's pretty much where I want it to be. So yeah, can't complain.
Chris, how's the GX? I know you were dabbling in, or you were tossing around the idea of maybe changing it up a little bit.
I mean, I think this happens every single year. So if I don't blow something up, then it's like, we should kind of revisit whether or not this is going to work. And, a few things changed. Obviously, this year we ended up having a little guy that's been going out with us quite a bit. And the GX has been awesome. I can say that, I'm wildly impressed with the V8. I think it's probably one of the best transitions I've made. The FJ ended up having a V6, obviously, and on 35s, I mean, it was okay. But this is definitely a game changer when it comes to being able to put on some miles. We did a Moab trip early in the spring this year, and, just that power was just completely acceptable to be able to just douse most of those hills out in the western United States. Some of the overpasses were really, really just not an issue. Even with 12 to 18 inches of snow, Daryl will tell you that was a pretty crazy trip. But so yeah, the GX is great. I think I'm going to actually end up probably putting that up for sale here come soon enough. I'd like to try something a little bit different. I may actually end up trying a pickup truck. I know that sounds kind of crazy, but I don't know what that looks like right now. But the GX is probably going to be something that goes up just because I think that the interior space is awesome to have. But in the same vein, I think that we should try something with maybe a full build out. Something that could have like a camper, very similar to like Rupert. That would be sick. I think just looking at Ben's is it's really, really impressive to see that. And you kind of just get to camp, you set up, you're there, and life is good. So,
And I
think we moved to that.
Just
Sorry, go ahead.
a full size version of Rupert would be pretty sweet for a family. Rupert's cool, but it's tiny inside, even with the box. So doing that on the types of platforms you've been talking about would be pretty rad.
I'll
Yeah,
sell
and
you
I
the blue
think
truck.
yeah, I've had a lot of people jump up to kind of offer up their rigs for sure, but I think we're looking closely at a first gen Tundra. I think that seems to fit the bill, and it also fits the size, so it's not as big as a newer generation Tundra, not as wide, I guess if you will. But it also has the V8, which I'm not sure I can go back from because it's just that good. So um, we'll see. Big truck still sitting out there. She's framed out, and as soon as that happened, I just kind of just didn't have time. The season hit and life hits. I will say that it's the life is completely different. It's funny because Ben had mentioned to me a few times. It's like, hey, listen, dude, like, I haven't had any kids before, and to have Finn kind of be around now, just be wanting to. He's always involved in what we do, so it's just amazing. But it's like, wow, this is a completely different way of overlanding. So, our truck gets outfitted for him first, and then it's us last. And hopefully we have something to eat, something to stay warm with. Otherwise, he's our main focus. So that has changed our priorities a little bit. And so yeah, I think those things are. It's an exciting time to be able to see if we can actually push forward and do a little bit more with the big truck. If I can get that kind of outfitted and built, even if I just got the exterior done, the box that I could work in there over the winter, that would be sick. Just with a little bit of heat. But yeah, as of right now, like I said, it's the season's over for us now, so we've all taken kind of a big deep breath, and we're like, wow. The next push is obviously to see what January 1st brings for us, and we're excited to see what that is. And then after that, we have a little bit of downtime, just the meet and greets. So a lot of us are just going to be plugging away at as many projects as we possibly can to get ready, because May comes fast, really fast, and we want to just, like I said, it's you get multiple projects going at one time, and all of a sudden you're like, oh man, it's spring's here, and it's exciting, but it's also like, where did the time go? So I'm excited to keep going, keep plugging away on things, but again, it's just wanting to be able to get that time and see if we can make it work. I mean, that's all this is right now. It's just priorities and just setting those up and seeing whether or not the big truck or the sale of the GX will be in that line. So,
Darren, we got time for one last question.
Yes.
So we got a question coming in from Discord. Where do you suggest applying fluid film if you don't currently have a place to work on a rig? There's a place up if you're in the main area, Portland area. I personally like Pollen's Tire and Auto Care in Arundel, Maine. It's close to Chris and I. They have the traditional fluid film and the fluid film black option, and are generous with their sprays. I know, Mason, do you want to plug Brett's shop for the people who are out in the Western Mass area or want to drive out from Boston?
Out in here in Western Mass, we got repair and off-road recovery specialists. I'm buddies with the owners, Christian and Brett. They're real good guys. They'll take care of anything you need. But around this time of year, they start doing the fluid film, and they're reasonably cheap when it comes to that. So if you get a chance to check them out, they'll certainly appreciate it.
Yeah, I know.
They also do more than fluid film, right? If you want to.
Oh, they'll do whatever you want, but fluid film about this time of year is what they're kind of really doing.
Right, but when you say whatever, like they'll install a 3-link, suspension system. They'll get an old truck running.
Install, modify, build, whatever you need, you name it. They're gonna help you out. They're the guys that I go to when there's something that I can't handle, and I can handle a whole lot. So, but they'll take care of anybody that heads over there. I know Daryl's been down there a couple times, and I think Darren or someone was saying they're going down there soon. So.
Yeah, I was gonna say, as far as that goes, they did my full 4-link install on the Jeep JK, and I mean, it was a full custom weld job to the frame, and they did it all, and they were awesome. Their welds are incredible, and they
Yep.
even custom fabbed the sliders to fit again afterwards.
Yeah, they did
Nice.
a frame repair on the FJ for me, and it came out mint. So, and they painted it, fluid filmed it, everything. So it was drop it off, pick it up. It was ready to go when I got it. So they'll do just about anything.
I'm sure there's plenty of other shops that people recommend, and we can keep that discussion going in the Discord. If you have any places that you like to go to for fluid film or things like that, drop it in the general chat or even on the resources channel. I'm sure people would appreciate that based on where they are. They can find the closest recommended shop to get that done if you don't have a driveway or a place to do it yourself. If you do, you can pick it up at AutoZone type retailers or order it online. You can get it in little aerosol packs, or you can get it in larger containers and then put it in your own sprayer. As if you have a compressor, you can do a home spray pretty easily. The black stuff is nice for older vehicles if you want to make it look clean. Good from afar, far from good type of deal. The clear stuff is better for the newer vehicles. The black does have the advantage of being able to see where it's wearing off as you're driving. But other than that, there's really not much of a difference besides cosmetic. So anyways, thank you for the question, Ventures Unknown.
We have one more in the chat that Mason kind of answered already. Does NAC do any smaller events not listed on the website? Local meets and day rides. So with that, like Mason said, all of our rides and stuff are always listed and available on the website. But if you are on the Facebook group, Northeast Adventure Community, as well as in the Discord, obviously you are, because you're asking me the question in the Discord. But that is where we will be dropping the like the meet and greets and the quote-unquote last-minute trips that we tack on throughout the season. As we get open weekends and we decide to fill it, that's where we will drop the announcements for that. But unless anyone else has anything they want to add
on the website when we add them.
Yeah,
Sort of
as we make the announcement, it'll be added to the website. But
yep.
Unless anyone else has anything they want to speak to.
Think we're good?
Negative. Once, twice, Bueller. Nothing. Cool. Well, before we close it up, I just want to thank everyone once again for coming in and joining us on our first ever episode of Around the Fire. A couple things I want to push real quick before we get done. You keep an eye out for January 1st for those tickets to go on sale at 12 p.m. 12 noon, and so that's 12 noon Eastern Standard Time, just to be clear if you're gonna drive from California out here. So if you need any help with getting set up on that, feel free to reach out to any of the staff. We can help you out with that. If you're coming from YouTube or any other social media and you want help getting set up on Discord, reach out once again, any of the staff, and let us know. I had one last thing that I wanted to say. Give me a hot second to find it. Thank you again for helping us kind of grow this new section of the community. If you've been following for a long time, we changed the Facebook group from Northeast Adventure Company to Northeast Adventure Community as we grow. It's become the group itself, and the people that have kind of helped make this have become less, or it's become less of just us and more of a community. And so as we grow and expand, we want you guys to join with us and come along for the ride and sit around the fire and talk with us. So we hope to see you around on some trips, and we hope that you tune in for the next future episodes and videos and posts that we get up. Once again, thank you for tuning in, and if you need anything from us, don't be afraid to reach out.
Do we have an idea of when they can expect the next episode?
Yes. So with the Around the Fire, the way that we kind of see it going is monthly in the off season, and then monthly or every other month during the season. It will always be held on Wednesdays to kind of give you guys that midweek, like push to look forward to. So the next podcast, let's see, what is it, the 15th? Let's call it the 15th of January. We'll shoot for a consistent middle of the month, middle of the week for every episode. If you have suggestions, if you have topics you want to hear us talk about, drop it in the Around the Fire Q&A chat, drop it in the general chat, shoot me a message directly, any of that.
Okay.
If you have ideas and questions, we will be opening up that Q&A chat every week prior to the live streaming of the episode to kind of get those questions filled in. But other than that, keep an eye out for the announcements for when the next episode drops.
Cool.
Thank you for joining us, and
thanks, Darren, for hosting, and we look forward to the next one. This was fun.
Definitely appreciate it. Thank you, everybody, for your support. It's been amazing up to this point, and you know, we can't wait to keep going and doing what we're doing. So this is awesome. I'm excited for the next one.
Yeah, it was a good time.
All right.
Rock on. Thanks, guys.
yeah,
We'll talk to you
thank
later.
you guys.